You will never get rich making beats. This is something I hear time and time again all over the internet. So today we're going to talk about it and see if all hope is lost for you to make it big as a producer, or if you can still get rich off making beats. Like I said, online I'm seeing all over the place in comment sections, tweets, my Discord server, wherever it is, there's people talking about how it's oversaturated and there's no way that you can make good money as a music producer in today's economy. And then you have the people who are saying that anyone who's making money is just lying to sell you a course. And it's not just small underground producers either. Even huge established producers like Kenny Beats say there is no one dumber than a person trying to get rich by making music. And as you can see, as one of the top comments on this post, I commented that I'm an idiot because I am definitely trying to get rich making beats. That being said, I will admit that if you get into making music and making beats strictly for the money, it's not really a good idea. And I think that there is truth in a lot of these statements that go around on the internet and in that Kenny Beats tweet. However, I do not completely agree with them. It is 100% possible to make amazing money doing this. And don't get me wrong, it is not easy, but it is so worth it to be able to make beats every single day if that's what you truly love to do. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to be going over some things that are going to stop you from being able to make good money and get rich as a music producer. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you my personal favorite way that you can make money as a music producer. And before you start asking why this bootleg Aiden Ross looking motherfucker is giving me advice, I've made over $1 million selling my beats and loops online, and I've also been able to work with 21 Savage, Future, SZA, and a ton of other big artists. And I say all that not to brag, but just to prove that I have at least a little bit of credibility when I'm talking about these kind of things. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the common reasons you won't make money as a producer. The first reason is you don't commit to anything for longer than a week, and then when you don't see the results or the numbers that you want or expect, you get discouraged and just go back to doing the same bullshit that you always do. Or you just hop onto the next get rich quick idea that you find instead of just sticking to one thing and seeing it through, working for countless hours, years towards something to finally make some money as a producer. If you want to do this as a hobby and just do whatever you want whenever you want, there is almost no chance that you're going to get rich doing this. You need to think of it like a business. And if you think about your favorite businesses, let's say Apple or Windows, if they all of a sudden decided that one day they want to be selling technology, the next day they want to be a fashion brand, and then the next day they want to start selling chicken wings, they might be doing what interests them at the time, but they're spreading themselves so thin and doing so many different things that they can't ever do one thing very well. And a lot of producers jump from making one type of beat to another type of beat, or doing one business strategy to another one, instead of just sticking with one thing that will actually work if you have the discipline to stick with it for a long enough period of time. Another reason I see producers failing to monetize their beats and their music is because, like it or not, we live in a day and age where having a personal brand is very important, and having your face out there on social media can be a game changer when it comes to making a living. And a lot of you guys are too scared to show your face. You guys are hiding behind logos or random profile pictures that have nothing to do with you. You're only posting beat visualizers on your Instagram, and a lot of you are pretty much doing nothing to build your content and your brand to the point where you could actually monetize and make money off of it. Another thing that I see is people are too protective with their art. They're always worried about someone stealing their beat, or they're very particular about who they send their stuff to, and they only want it in the right people's hands because they're so scared of getting fucked over that they end up just leaving everything on their hard drive and nothing ever happens with it. In my experience, the best thing you can do is just put that shit everywhere you can. Every time I make a melody, I put that melody in a pack. I send those melodies to my big industry connections. I send that melody into my free Discord server so that people can make beats there, and they end up posting them on YouTube, sending me back the beats that I can then send to big artists. I'm also sending those loops out to big YouTube producers who will sell those beats online and give me a 50-50 profit share. And then I'm breaking those loops down into their core elements as starters that I can send to other loop makers who can make collab loops with them. I can sell those starters in my kits and make money off my kits. So every single idea that I make, I put out to the world in like 10 different ways, because that increases my chances of, one, someone buying something that I worked on with someone and I get money off that, or if I'm lucky, a placement comes out of it and then I get paid publishing, royalties, advance, and all that stuff from a big song with a major artist. Whereas if I just made that loop and sent it to 4 or 5 producers that I work with all the time, nothing may happen with any of those loops because I'm limiting myself to 4 or 5 opportunities when I could could be having hundreds or thousands. Another thing I see is a lot of people kind of have this mindset that they want to be only doing the art. They only want to be making music. That's all they want to worry about. They don't want to have to deal with the business stuff and worry about registering their songs or selling their beats. They just want to do the bare minimum on the business side to make some money and just focus on making beats. And while there is nothing wrong with that, you're having the mindset of a starving artist. And although there are exceptions where very talented people who are only focused on the music can know the right people, be in the right place at the right time, and then make it big and get rich, the reality is that for the 99.99% of us, that is not going to be the case. I believe that if all you're focusing on is just making beats and nothing else, no networking, no business, nothing else, you have virtually a 0% chance of getting rich. If you actually want to do this as a business, as a full-time job, and potentially get rich doing this, you need to treat it like a business. You can't expect to treat it like a hobby or just something that you do for fun and then get paid like you're running a serious business. Let's say you have 20 hours a week that you're able to work on music because maybe you have school or a job. If you spend 19 or 18 of those 20 hours just making beats, you might get a lot better at making beats. And I do think that there is a place and time for that, of developing your skill before you're even worried about making money. But assuming that you're already at the place where your stuff is good enough to make money, if you're spending 90% of your time just focused on the music and then the other 10% you're just uploading your beats on BeatStars and YouTube and praying that someone buys them, it's no wonder that your growth with music is outpacing your growth with money. If you want your money to grow and you want to get rich doing this, you cannot treat the business as an afterthought. And as a music producer, I know that a lot of the times you don't want to be doing the business stuff, and I'm speaking from experience. Sometimes I miss the days where I was just making music without a worry in the world, just making whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, making some money here and there, but all I had to do is just make beats all day. Now I'm at a point where I'm making a very good living doing this. But with that comes, if I'm working 6 days out of the week, I may only be making music 2 out of those 6 days because I have to be making content. I need to work on making my kits because that's my primary source of income. The reality is, if I want to continue making a good income doing this, the business needs to be a priority. And if you're like a lot of producers and like I was, and you struggle on staying on a set schedule with your business side of things, I got you. About a year ago, me and my team put out this thing called the Producer Playbook, which is a productivity template made specifically for music producers. And over the past year, it's gotten a ton of amazing feedback. And I really believe it's a game changer if you use it to get productive and to start working towards your business goals and not just your music goals. So if you want to get disciplined and start crushing your business goals, click the first link in the description down below for the Producer Playbook. And as a thank you for all the support I've been getting from you guys recently, if you use the code GETRICH, it'll give you 50% off the Producer Playbook. But anyways, I'm sure you're tired of hearing all the reasons why you'll never get rich doing this. So let's get into, in my opinion, the best way that you can work on getting rich as a music producer. All right, and for this, I'm assuming that you're starting at 0. So I'm putting myself in the position of having 0 followers, no connections, nobody knows who I am, but I still have all of the skills musically and all the business skills that I have right now. The first thing that I would do is identify and pick the lane that I want to attack. And there's a ton of different lanes that you could choose. You could choose selling loop kits and sample packs. You could choose becoming a content creator. You could choose selling type beats. You could choose being an industry producer and chasing placements. You could go after sync placements. There's a ton of different things that you can do, but the point is you need to stick to one. You can branch out later once you've mastered that one lane, but if you're trying to do all of it at once right in the beginning, you're probably not going to get very far. So once I had picked out my lane, I would start putting out content. And I think the easiest way to get started today is just putting out short form content. So let's say you choose the lane of wanting to build a producer audience so that you can sell kits, make content, all that kind of stuff, and that's your lane, which is personally what I would do. I would start putting out TikToks and reels, shorts, whatever you want to call them, either just playing the loop or the beat that I made that day, showing helpful tips inside of FL Studio, Logic, whatever you use. If you just go on TikTok or reels and you just consume a bunch of the content that you're seeing, you can get a lot better inspiration than you can get from me. But come up with some content ideas and just start putting them out. You're going to suck at first. As you're growing your following, you don't want to just grow this huge following and not have made any money off of it. And I think one of the best ways to start making money is to grow your email list. And the easiest way to grow your email list is by giving away free stuff. So this could be free beats if you're trying to sell to artists, free kits if you're trying to sell to producers, PDFs on how to make better beats, or PDFs on the best secret plugins that you use, whatever it could be. Some kind of free product that in exchange for you giving it for free, they need to give you their email. So you can promote these free products on your short form organic content that you're putting out there to the world. And then that's going to start to bring in people who are downloading your free thing and giving you their email. Now, here's a huge mistake that a lot of people do is they'll set up something where they're collecting emails, but once they get the emails, they just do nothing with them. You want to put those emails to work by sending sending out emails to your email list. On these emails, you don't want to just be constantly spamming them with sales emails, trying to sell them. Instead, you want to kind of give it more of a balance of providing value. Maybe you found a cool article or a cool video on some production tip and you send it out to your email list. On the next email you send out, you could send out a free loop kit to all your email subscribers. And then on the third one, you could be like, yo, I just dropped a new loop kit. Here's 20% off. Go check it out. The point is, you want to keep these people active and engaged with your emails so that you don't get a cold list that is pretty much of zero value. And I really want to stress how important email is. You do not want to neglect it. On my kit selling business, I'm making anywhere from 30 to 40K a month. And I would say on average, I'm making about half of that from my email list. So if I was just ignoring that whole part of my business, I might be lowering my income by 50% just by not sending emails out to all the people on my email list. And I know in the beginning, when you've got 20, 30 people on your email list, it can be super discouraging. Like, why am I sitting here writing these emails? But one, you're going to be building a good habit of continuously sending to your email list. So when it grows to maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people, you've actually got people looking forward to your emails. And as you continue to grow your social media presence, your brand online, and get more trust with the community, more people are going to be coming into your email list, especially if you keep giving out more free stuff. And then it's just going to continue snowballing and you're going to continue getting more sales from your email list. Now, besides maybe an email list provider subscription fee, that strategy has pretty much no expenses. But if you do have some money and you're willing to invest, I would highly recommend spending some money on ads, because with social media content, you're kind of praying that your video gets seen by a lot of people so that people can go to your website and buy your thing. But with paid ads, you are paying money, but you're guaranteeing that people are seeing your ads. And if you have good ads and good products, you're guaranteeing that people are going to come to your store and check out, maybe buy something from your store. But not only will paid ads help you get sales right away, even if you don't have many followers to start with, if you're running Facebook and Instagram ads, your profile is going to be shown to a lot more people. And assuming your stuff is good, you're going to be getting a ton of people who come to follow your account because they keep seeing your ads and they might like what they're hearing. And even if they see your ad and they don't buy something right away and they become a follower, they might all of a sudden see a video where you promoted your free kit, then they get on your email list, and then 3 days later when they get a free discount code for being on your email list, then they come and buy. But anyways, not to get too deep down that rabbit hole, in the process of building your brand and putting your stuff out there, whether that's your beats, your kits, or whatever it is, while you might start making money from the online sales on your beat store or your kit store, you also have a chance at getting placements with major artists. I've seen it happen over and over again. Personally, for me, I keep getting placements from random loop kits that I put out years ago that people have been using this whole time. I keep getting placements from big YouTube type beats that use my loops and they blow up, and then all of a sudden Lil TJ hops on it. I've had big producers hit me up because they've seen a YouTube video of mine, and then I end up getting a huge connection because of that. That leads me to getting a placement. And overall, just as I continue to build my brand, more of these lucky accidents just keep happening. So not only can you make money off the online sales, but those online sales could potentially lead to publishing and royalty money. And if you end up getting a lot of those placements, that can end up being a lot of money. The brand building that happens when you get those placements helps build your social media presence even more and kind of build your respect in the community even more, which leads to you getting bigger and then more people using your stuff, and then potentially get more placements. And then if you're doing that right, theoretically the cycle just continues upward and upward as you get bigger and bigger. And personally, I've followed this strategy pretty closely with a couple differences here and there as I learned, and I've been able to go from making $800 a month to making $30,000 to $40,000 a month on average. And I believe it's 100% possible for other people to do as well. And although I'm making a great income right now, I am by no means rich. However, my plan is to be able to save money every single month and put it in my long-term investment accounts that are going to hopefully compound over time so that in 20, 30 years will be worth a lot more than what it is right now. And some of you might think, well, it's possible to have a few good months, but you're definitely not going to get rich. Even if you're investing that money into the stock market, or real estate, or whatever you want to invest into, is that if you maintain it correctly, you can monetize that brand forever. So if in 2 years selling sample kits is obsolete, I can probably figure out something else to do with my big producer audience to be able to continue to make income and feed my investments that will eventually, hopefully, make me rich. But hey, let me know if you're with Kenny Beats and you think I'm an idiot and there's 100% no chance that you can get rich making beats. I'm only some random 22-year-old on the internet, so what do I know? Anyways, if you learned anything from this video and you want more in-depth information on my full blueprint on how to make money as a music producer in 2024, click this video right here.